Hi, welcome back to BackBit Impossible. I'm Loop Darksnout, and I'm on the edge of town to tell you about, what I'm up to with the Raster interrupt. In this episode, I come up with a clever way to, abuse the raster? Nah, it's not abuse, it's just smart. I come up with a nice way to save some bytes off of every single frame. In addition to, the optimizing that I did on the last episode, things are going to be really moving right along. Oh, it's going to be so smooth if I can get it to work. At the moment, the data is optimized, like the video frames have been shuffled around to maximize the number of matches, but I haven't rolled them out with a little bit of intelligence yet, so nothing has really changed at this point. But, maybe soon they will. Let's find out.
I've been dabbling around with my interrupts here. I learned a very valuable lesson, and I haven't proved that what I learned is true yet, but here it is. I am trying to make it so I can break in and have an interrupt. Now, 6045, I put the CLI here, and watch. It is going to lock up with a black screen. Yep. Okay. And so then we go back in. All right. So here's the difference. Now I put the CLI here, so it's after the acknowledgement. And I bet you what it'll do this time around, it'll acknowledge it, and then it'll carry through the interrupt properly. Because with the CLI first, the moment you release that interrupt disable, it's going to flag another raster interrupt because it hasn't been acknowledged, and it keeps going back. Watch, it'll play. Yep.
May? Yes? You're pretty busy looking.
Oops. Okay. So, and the reason for that is, I'll show you what I mean. All right. And here's what we got. We added the CLI after the acknowledgement, and a color thingy here and a color thingy here. Now those color thingies, even though we're at 1 megahertz, and this is this is an older version, but the sound plays and the color corrupts and lots of fun. But because of what I've done here, that color bar you see should never get tainted. And here we go.
May? Yes? You're pretty busy looking this way and that way, kiddo.
We've got to make sure nobody's watching us. We can't be seen together.
Now how's that, eh? Not bad. I mean, it's still buggering up, but the interrupts, the raster interrupts, always occur as they're supposed to, even during the berries. Great. I had to try this. And it works. And it works good. And the only reason it doesn't completely fall on its face is, even though the color takes a long time to do, it doesn't need to happen twice before it's finished, at which point it would start to interrupt itself and become a major problem. But as it is, this is great. I love the fact that this now works as expected. And this is what happens if you do not do the CLI right about here. I guess I should have showed you this first, but I didn't. Anyway, so the color things are in place. The CLI is not. So the coloring is what causes the interrupt to take too long.
May?
Yes?
You're pretty busy looking this way and that way, kiddo.
We've got to make sure nobody's watching us. We can't be seen.
You can see when the scene changes, especially, that's when the color thing gets overwhelmed or whatever. And it's, what a mess. But, and the berries consistently screw it up. But as you already have seen, I have found a way to keep that problem out of the way, as I planned some time ago. You might remember me beaking about it. Okay, it's nearly 5 a.m. here. I've been working on this for most of the night. Finally, well, let's just start running it. I hope it works. I'll tell you what it does in a sec. Oh, crap, I forgot to load my sprites. Well, that's one fail. But wow, it's working rather quickly. Doesn't matter that I don't have the sprites. Let's take a look at the BackBit light. Okay. I think it's working properly. It is now doing the optimized rollout for the top and the bottom and the video matrix and the new packed color. Oh, it's very clever packed color. And it's actually only saving the amount of pages that are rolled out. And I noticed very first frame is the one that's the worst, where it rolls out 81 pages of stuff, and beyond that, most of them are, well, all of them are less than that, and most of them are, you know, somewhere around the 50, possibly 60 pages rollout. So when I'm done determining the rollout, I end it with a CLC, like a clear carry. So when I later am, you know, just going through the motions and running these, executing these pages, I'll start with a set carry, and then when I find a clear carry, then I stop doing it. But I also am only saving the amount of pages that each frame has generated in the rollout. So it's now just a big sequential mess, but it will save me many megabytes off the final file. But it's not very elegant. I'm so not happy about this. But by the time I wake up, it'll be done because I'm going to bed. Yeah, we'll see if this even works. Well, once again, it finished during the night. This is me playing the data with Impa Final 1.07, which is totally not designed to do it, but I'm still getting portions of things correct. I had to put in a 7015 RTS into the, into the source here, so it doesn't try to unpack the color, because that's what hangs it up. But yeah, it looks like it's working, well, as much as to be expected without the proper code. So now what I have to do is a few tweaks to get the proper player to make, to make sense of this. And the unpacking of the color is the real new time waster, I guess, because it's going to take a while to get that entered. It's actually rather long to write, but once it's done, it should be pretty quick to execute. So when I do the old boobs timing test on it, it should be pretty fast. And after that, throw in the audio, snip out the proper stuff on the BBT to create a new BBT that's even smaller, and you're done. But yeah, I'm going back to bed. So here we go. We got the audio rolled out in addition to the new optimized video. This is the simple 3K buffer trick, so it's not going to be very good, but I just want to get this thing playing quickly, and later on I've got ideas for actually improving the audio as well. Oh boy.
We've got to make sure nobody's watching us. We can't be seen together. We have to be on the lookout.
Yeah, okay, the video is absolute trash, but the audio I just rolled out does play. That is great. Yeah. How do I make the video work? I'm gonna do it later. Okay, I'm still working on stuff, but check this out. Now I'll turn it down.
May?
And as you can see, well, I guess as you can't see, there is no disruption in the center. Now I'm going to hit the SuperCPU switch, and there might be. Yep, there it is. Because it's getting to the interrupt way too fast now. But the thing is, to save some time, because this row, here, let me turn it off. That middle row of characters used to be, well, it's common to both character sets. So I have 40 blocks dedicated to the top character set and the bottom. Same. But in order to, it's something changed due to me flipping the switch. But anyway, to save some rollout bytes, because, 40 characters times 8 bytes, that's 320 SDAs times 2 per frame. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. So take a look at this picture here, and I'll just continue narrating. I ended up making my rollout a little smarter, so when it's dealing with that shared row, it doesn't completely write all the bytes for each character set. It ignores a few on the top character set, and it ignores a few rows on the bottom. This way, assuming my split is consistent and in the right place, it will strike during the times, the 2 rows where all the bytes are in place for both characters, so it can seamlessly cross over. Now, if we go back here and I hit the switch again, well, okay. This is the value I was using in the past. I think it's 150 is where the raster interrupt hits. So I could change that to 151 and it'll work fine at slow speed and fast. 152, I think it's the same. At 153, I think it screws up just like this. And, well, I'll be right back and let's check it out. I'm going to set it to 153. Okay, so here we are at 153, fast speed. So slow speed might change the behavior. And there it is. So as you can see, well, if 150 screws it up, 153 screws it up, that only leaves those 2, quote, safe raster lines, 151 and 152, to do this on, which is good because there's a little bit of, play based on whether there's a bad line. Well, the bad lines won't affect the things because that's a little higher. But the NMI striking, it's a little haphazard. I don't really know if I can pin that down perfectly. And of course, the hit or miss nature of when the interrupt begins and the jitter and of course the fact that I have a super CPU because it's fun. Oh, now I screwed something up. I wonder what this sounds like. Oh, that is weird. Well, I better get out of there. Oh, deadly. Oh, it's completely trashed now. Yeah, okay. Let's hit restore anyways. Wow. See if you can still do math. Okay. Weird, eh? Yeah, don't flip the switch while you're playing with it. Bad. Okay, I lost my train of thought completely. That was fun, though. Well, I was playing this earlier, and the sound and video get out of sync by about a little over a second by the end of it. And I was going to re-roll out the audio portion and pull out every so often, but then I realized that raster at the bottom, I did not turn it on, so it's skipping a line. Check this out.
You guys believe that kind of talk? Waste of time. But it might be true, buddy.
See that? It's still synchronized, and the video is nearly over. So what this does is, as you've probably seen many times now, by stalling below the screen for one raster line, 65 cycles exactly, the NMI jumps over the bad lines on every single frame. And by pulling out, it effectively stops it from doing one sample every 2 screen refreshes. And apparently that's the magic number to get this thing exactly where I want it to be, or pretty damn close. So that's good. And the only thing left to do now is what you see here. I have a more elaborate color unpacker, but it's just a matter of time. The buffers are being brought in that have, quote, packed color, and they are ready to go. It's just they're not unpacked at this point. Let's see if it's still in sync.
Help! This goat is gonna run away.
You won't get far, Ghost. I don't walk, and I'm gonna catch you.
that's pretty good. I wonder, the video itself seemed to end a little earlier than I expected it. Maybe I've seen this too many times. My brain's starting to get foggy. But anyway, all I have left to do is that color unpacker. And it's pretty much done. Wow. It is, I think, what, April 26th now. I got a few days. I said I could finish this in April. That still might be true, although I do work till the end of the month now. Almost. I have the 30th off. Well, whatever. I worked today, and here I am in the middle of the night working on it again. All right. Peace out. I was redoing the rollout because when I was looking at the code, I realized I had no protection against the possibility of a packed color byte needing more than 31 writes in a row. So I added a bit of code that if it exceeds that, well, this happens. It goes increment and decrement DO20 and an infinite loop. This is the rollout. This is as far as it got before it actually tripped into one of these problems. But what is interesting is how perfectly solid it is, isn't it? It hasn't moved a wink. It's not locked up. It's just stopped. I mean, I could probably hit restore and get out of here. Sure. Look at that. But yeah, so okay. So the BBT that I'm working on is now trashed. I do have the means to, protect myself from this overflow, but I didn't implement them because I wanted to check if it was even necessary, and sure it is. Which means the BBT that I thought was going to work, yesterday, would have completely flopped on its face after 1,499 frames. Anyway, back to work.
So it looks like I'm pretty close to the end, doesn't it? I mean, once I have this new color unpacker working, that should be it, shouldn't it? It has to be. Well, maybe it's not. But I am pretty close to the end. As you can imagine, there's not too many episodes left. So, yeah, what can I say? This coding adventure is nearly done, and I thank you for being with me for it. Anyway, till next time, I'm Luke Darksnow.